Namaste and welcome. My name is Ivorie and I'm a yoga teacher and a yoga therapist, and I live here in Los Angeles, California. And I'm super excited to bring to you a Yoga Nidra practice today. So if you've never heard of Yoga Nidra, sometimes it could be called psychic sleep or yogic sleep. And it's this beautiful space that resides between being awake and REM sleep. And your body is going to be completely relaxed, but your mind will still be active enough to hear my cueing, to take you into an even deeper relaxation in your body. You may have experienced this if you've ever been asleep, or you thought you were asleep. Your body is asleep, it's not moving, but you can still hear the things around you. Maybe you hear your partner rustling or talking, or you can hear people in the next room. And it's this weird space where you feel like you're asleep, but the mind is awake. And that's basically Yoga Nidra. So maybe you've already experienced it. And that's the space we'll be working to today. So let's get started. I'll take you through just a couple of props that would be nice if you have. You want a comfortable space. It can be a mat like I have laid out here. It could also even be your bed. And just a little note, you guys, I do recommend this practice. If you ever have trouble sleeping, this is a great practice to do before you go to sleep. It can be done anytime during the day, but oftentimes before sleep is a nice space to do it. So blanket, I'm just going to use this as a pillow for my head. I also have a bolster here. I'm going to use this underneath my knees. If you don't have the bolster, you can roll up another blanket, make it into a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you could also use pillows. And then the third thing, and my most favorite thing, is my gravity weighted sleep mask, and it's from Purple. I like it because the beads are evenly distributed, so you've got this even pressure over your eyes. That's really nice. And then when you put it up to your face, it just feels good. The fabric feels really great. So if you don't have a mask, you guys, don't worry about it, but if you do have one, you'll want to grab it. And I'll just show you what your position will look like when you lay down, okay? Because I'll be leading you through the practice seated. So on your backs, I'm going to roll up this blanket into a small roll for the base of my neck. And then I'm going to grab my bolster, and it's going to go right underneath my knees. Okay, so this is the position, any place you want with your hands. Yeah, so find that position and we will get started. I'm going to make my way back to a seat. So once you've got your sweet spot, allow your shoulder blades to wrap underneath your back body a little more. And just let the head kind of rock from side to side. A little massage for the back of the skull. Also a way for you to get your head right on straight on top of your spine. And let the toes flop out. Let the palms face up if they're outstretched. If you like, one hand can go to the heart or the belly. Place the arms in a space that's comfortable for you. And then if it feels okay, close your eyes. If it doesn't feel okay to close your eyes, that's fine as well, but begin to blur out your gaze. So you make a conscious shift from external, whatever happened today before this practice, to internal. And then right away, start to become more aware of your breath. Your inhale and your exhale. Bring the attention of your breath down to your belly, underneath your belly button, below your belly button, your lowest belly. And just inhale and exhale into that space of the belly. Let the breath become deeper and the exhales longer. And see if you can notice the connection between a deeper breath and a quieter mind, and shallow breath and a busier, more active mind. And we're shifting from that active mind into a more quiet space. And then I'd like for you to set an intention for this practice that we're going to do together. It can be a person, it can be a place, it can be a thing, it can be an idea, something that you hold dear. Just place that at the seat of this practice. Something that you love, something that you adore, something that you want to see flourish. Let that be the guiding light of the practice. And then you're going to bring your attention, your mind's eye, to the very crown of your head. Right at the top of your skull. And then imagine that there is a blue light emanating from that space at the top of your skull. And the blue light is not too bright, it's not too dim, it's a perfect blue light. And feel that blue light radiating above the crown of your head, maybe about 6-8 inches above. And there's a feeling and a connection to a force field that lives just above you, outside of you. And then take that blue light and let it move down from the crown of the head to the very center of your brain and forward between your two eyebrows, to the space that we call your third eye, seat of your intuition, your intellect. And just pause there and let the blue light shine from the inside outward. And then you'll continue moving your attention from the third eye to the eyes themselves, the ones that you know. And let those eyeballs just sink deeper into their sockets. Let it move down from the eyes to the spaces of the hinge of the jaw. And allow that space to relax. Maybe it means you open your mouth slightly, let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. And then continue moving down the sides of the throat. They soften. Blue light moving down to your collarbones. And the blue light will start at the very center of your collarbones, and then it'll move out rightward along the right side of your collarbone, pausing at the very head of your shoulder, and then moving down the upper arm bone, down the lower arm bone, to the wrist, and all the way to your fingers, the first finger, middle finger, ring, pinky, wraps around to the thumb until all of the fingers have this sense of blue light coming from the tips. And then with that space still lighted, the blue light continues up, back up your forearm, back up your upper arm bone, past the head of the shoulder, across the collarbone, to the left collarbone, until it pauses at the head of your left shoulder. And then that light will continue down the upper arm bone, the forearm, through the wrist, all the way through the first finger, middle, ring, pinky, around to your thumb, until all of the tips of the fingers have this blue light emanating from them. And that blue light doesn't disappear, but it does move back up the arm, all the way to the shoulder, right back to the center of your two collarbones. And then it'll continue the journey downwards, down the ribs, all the way down to your belly. And allow it to make circular movements around your belly. And then it travels down to the hips, the front of the pelvis. And then it's going to move over to the right side of the pelvis so that it can go down your right femur bone, past the kneecap to the shin bone, down the top of the foot to each of your toe tips, big toe to the pinky toe, and then underneath the sole of your foot up to the heel, back up the leg past your Achilles tendon to the calf muscle, back of the knee, the hamstrings, the gluteal muscles, and then back around to the front of your pelvis, over to the left hip, down the femur bone, past the kneecap, the shin bone, ankle, tops of the feet, until you get to each of your toe tips. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. And then up the sole of your foot to your heel, your Achilles. Up the calf muscle, the back of the leg, each of your hamstrings, to the gluteal muscles on the left side. And then keep that blue light at the back of your pelvis, and it's going to move all the way up your spine. From the base of your spine to the middle spine, past the ribs, along the blades of the shoulders, all the way up the back of your neck. And the back of the neck gets longer as that light moves up, until the light arrives at the back of your skull. And then it'll convene right where we started, at the very top and center of your skull. And any sounds that you might hear in the space around you, allow yourself to hear them without creating any sort of story around them. Just let it be passing like a cloud that's passing in the sky above you. And then let yourself just reside in this space of each of the body parts being lit up. And there's awareness to each of your body parts, but there's also a softness and an ease. And notice any space where there's not a softness or an ease. Any space where there seems to be tension. And without trying to change the tension or manipulate it in any way, just cultivate the opposite thought, a thought of ease and relaxation. If there's a thought of something's missing or something's wrong, cultivating a sense of all is coming. A sense of acceptance of what is right now. If there's a sense of being small or contracted or feeling boxed in, can you allow for a sense of spaciousness? Imagining your body in a wide open space without any feelings of confinement. If there's a feeling of being broken, injured, hurt, sick, Could you invoke a sense of wholeness? An internal resource where there is a state of perfection, a state of truth, a space where there's pure light. And just allow for yourself to abide in this space of wholeness, of ease, of spaciousness, of truth, of light. Stay there for a few moments. And then deepen your next inhale. Let the belly get a little fuller. Release the breath. Exhale. And do that again. Inhale. And set the breath free. Exhale. Once more. Let this one be the deepest one of our time together thus far. Inhaling. Maybe another sip at the top. And then exhale, set it free. Keeping stillness in the body, keeping the eyes closed. Just begin to remember the space around you, your room that you are in as you know it. So without opening the eyes, what are the four walls around you? Or maybe you're outside. What is the space around you? And just see it in your mind's eye. Feel the air on your skin, the feeling of whatever your costume is on your skin. Starting to bring awareness back to your senses. Are there any sounds that you're hearing in the room? Let them come to the forefront of the mind. Can you feel the breath coming in and out of your nostrils? Let that breath get deeper, and just one by one bringing your senses back online. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe let a sweet smile grow across your face. Take some bigger movements. If you like, you can reach the arms overhead, the legs forward, stretching and lengthening. Maybe you get a snap, crackle, pop somewhere. And then slowly and gently, without any sense of or need to hurry or being rushed, roll over to your right side. And then you'll press yourself up to a final seat. Keep the eyes soft, the gaze soft. And we'll bring the two hands to heart center. Lift the heart slightly and bow the head down towards your heart. And just coming back to that intention that you said at the very beginning of this, that person, that place, that thing that brings you joy and that you would like to cultivate more of. And then rise the two thumbs to the third eye. Thank you to each of you for practicing with me today. The light within me honors that within each of you. Om Shanti, peace. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this Yoga Nidra practice. And thank you also to Purple for providing us the space and also the props to do this wonderful practice. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on Desire List, and I've got several classes that are there, both Yoga Nidra, meditation, breath work, and some fun asana movement practices as well. So I hope to see each of you again. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.